Now it's recording. Okay.
All right, so Teresa Adams,
Zina Stillman.
and we are on our 7th equity log. The prompts were what happened during your first or most recent facilitated session on equity and equity-mindedness in your department, campus, or peers, and what went well, and what would you do differently. I actually wasn't there for the meeting, so I can't actually respond to that one.
I was on the meeting, and it was like eye-opening for the most of the people. They never heard about CUE. They have no idea what is going on. And James' presentation with his PowerPoint about what happened with his classes before CUE and after CUE was very impressive. We really enjoyed this moment, and this pushing people think about the situation, what is going on, and how can we help people who are not ready for the colleges. And the PowerPoint with the letters, with everything that we saw before, was very impressive for the rest of the people who never saw that before. So, but at the same time, the second part, when we are looking for the presentation of Linda Sue and Yoon, was very interesting situation for us, because they did use the color to show what is attendance, what is dropping, grades, everything for the people depending on the I don't know, identity as African American or Native American or white people, Hispanic people. So anyway, most of the people ask, why do we need extra work if it's already on D12, even in the color? The difference with what we have on D12 and what we are creating is just simply we are marking it as some kind of letter or some kind of sign that this person is African American, this person is Latina. On D12 we don't have it, but it's a lot of work for us. We all are very busy people. Do we need to do it specially, or we can have color and everything on D12? This was around me. I heard it from other people. So I like what happened. Sorry, Terry. I like what happened. I like that we introduce CUE to the rest of the school, at least at our department. But what is going to be in the future, I have no idea.
So what you're saying is that the people really enjoyed the talk that James Grayhead gave to the department, and they were really pretty interested until they seen the potential for the amount of work that's
Yes.
involved with doing the color scheme and the color coding. Did that come from all of them, or was it more like with the adjuncts who really are not paid well enough to do that kind of work?
I think it was coming not from all of people, it's physically impossible, but from most of the people. And it really does not matter whether full-timers or adjuncts. All of them worry about extra work because all of us already work a lot.
Agreed, and we don't pay them for that kind of work, unfortunately, every day. I mean, we pay them for the training, but we don't pay them to do that every day, every week, and every class. How did they react when they got their own data?
Oh, it was very interesting to see their faces. I didn't think I was doing so good, or I didn't think I was doing so bad, but what can I do? And when we refer to what James said, they said, yeah, but I don't think it will be really effective. This was the reaction of the people, in my opinion, people around me.
So if you were to help support them somehow to see that, obviously that it is a lot more work to do that, although Linda Sue said there's a way to do it, so it is not much more work, but it is more work. We're asking them to do more. In terms of the data, when the data was handed out, what would you do differently when the reaction was, I don't think it's going to work? How would you convince them that it does?
At least try to do this. When you're trying to do this, you can see the result. When you don't do anything, if you don't try, it's exactly what we are doing with our students. If the students will tell you, I hate math, try to do that. Try to understand it. Be with me. I'll help you. Maybe this way they will try to do it and make finally different conclusion about this work. but people have to start to try. Without trying, it wouldn't work.
So if you could wave your magic wand and do the training again, what would you suggest they change, if anything?
Maybe to talk to the people, not the position of the teachers, lectures. Maybe to do this like not in the small group. You can do the small group to start with, but finally to have collection opinion from different groups, like somebody will stand and talk about that. This is what we are thinking about. What is the way to change it? And the people who were involved in CUE can answer on these questions, not the specific presentation, simply answer on the questions of the people who will be involved in that in the future.
Perfect. The next prompt is the leadership and what is our current state in the math department and what needs to come next to continue with the equity, and what are some recommendations. I'll be honest, I've only got 3 weeks. I got short-timer's disease, so I'm not even paying attention, I'll be honest. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to teach again anymore. So if I were teaching again, I don't know. I haven't really been engaged into the department as a whole very much because, you know, I'm out in 3 weeks. I'm done. And like I said, I'm not sure if I'm teaching, so I can't answer any of those questions. So I'm gonna prompt Zena through a couple of these questions just to see, because she's involved in the department more so than I have been, especially recently. When you look at the current state of equity within the department, how do you feel it is at right now?
It is not black and white, first of all. It's all of the color on the earth, what you can think about in the emotion of the people and in the action of the people. And it's very difficult to push in the right direction if you are not the boss of the department, chairman or dean. We can help to lead it as a full-timers, as a group of the CUE, we can help it. But to lead it, it will be a little bit more difficult to ask people which you are on the same level with to do the stuff which is extra and you don't pay them more. I simply don't know what to answer on this kind of questions.
Okay. So then you may not be able to answer these, but I'll ask you anyways. If you could move this equity forward through the department, what would you suggest is the biggest thing that would be helpful to move it forward through the department?
To give examples, real examples, not talking about like, in general, you can say that, in general, you can do this. This what I did. It is my actions. Let's talk about my actions. Maybe my actions are good, maybe are not good. They have to analyze and talk to me honestly how to help me to help them, because nobody is perfect. And we have to talk about the situation when I cannot see, but I start to see during the CUE, and I can help them to see that. But if they don't think it's helpful for them, they have to explain to me why not. What did I do not do correctly?
This is my last question. What kind of support do you think people need to help move this forward?
More support from you guys, from the CUE leaders, because you lead us, you explain to us, and what you pass to us, we can pass to another people.
So having our leaders here, like in the chair and the dean, being
Involved in this?
involved and trained on how to help us, so that not only would we have support with the CUE themselves,
Sure.
but with people here that are trained on how to help us support
I
us
think
through
it's
CUE.
very important. It's great when it was the chair, new chair, James, and new dean, when we have our meeting together
In September.
in September. It was very helpful because at least they know now what we are doing, and they can direct the whole department, whole center to the right direction, and actually help the whole college go to this direction because they do understand, not asking from the another people, because we can make up something. We
Yeah.
are people.
Yeah.
So they saw that in reality they can forward it to the rest of the college.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.